We will do housekeeping first. Ellie, I'm sure you heard her earlier, said be nice to the players.
Thank
Um,
you, Ellie.
so I'm thinking 15 points on your points cards tonight. Making it rain today.
Yeah, you are.
I probably know the answer, but is anybody interested in buying some regular charms tonight? We've seen them come in quite handy, quite several times.
I'll get at least one.
One, okay. Cleaning crew has had a much better time with like using the or finding uses for some of the charms. For you, Solfed, you get a reflector charm. I think somebody got that one yesterday as well. I think it was you, actually, Flash.
Hmm.
That's the charm you
that's
rolled
cool.
yesterday too. Do you know what you're rolling today?
No.
Okay, Poppy.
No.
Poppy Goosey, you're new here. You gonna roll some charms?
Well, I mean, my whole character is based on random, so yeah, I'll take one.
You'll take one. That'll
Yep.
be 5 points is the cost.
Okay.
You get a charm of escape, or a charm of the escape. So you go ahead and just drag that into the inventory tab on your character sheet.
Okay.
And Alejandro, are you spinning today?
Well, I'm not planning on spending. What's the trade-in
Trade-in.
policy?
Trade-in is you can get rid of 3 charms that you don't need to roll for a new one. You burn 3 to get 1.
I don't think I've got a third one that I would throw in. I've got 2, but I don't think I've got a third one that I'm...
That's why I love it. It's that little bit of gambling.
Yeah, I don't have a third one I want to... that I want to just say, yeah, to heck with it and trade it in for something else.
That's
I
fair.
got 2 that I could easily part with, but... Okay.
All right. And you're banking today?
Yeah.
Perfect. When we last left our heroes, you had picked up right where you left off in the middle of a major fight against the Rose Scorned, except that they were all kind of demonic and much more powerful than the first time you had encountered them. Kind of against the ropes, mainly because of the monk, Din. Gino decided to make a kind of noble sacrifice, using the ticket to the city of Dis to transport himself and Din to somewhere in the Nine Hells. Wrath, the elephant, the Loxodon, was the only one left over. Tried to run away, but you guys didn't let him take off. I think it was Alejandro that ran up and just skewered him and finished him off. The corpses that were left behind kind of melted into like soot and ash, before kind of like just dissipating. But you were able to pick up some of the items that they were carrying, get some new interesting gear. Cress's caravan was unfortunately destroyed during the encounter, and you found Cress with her legs like shattered, also like unconscious, and even after healing, you weren't able to wake her up at all. You gathered the pieces of the caravan, stuffed them back into the goblin wagon that had been the one that the Rose Scorn had stolen to chase you. And managed to summon Gruen to get you guys back to Bryn Shander. In that time, you guys kind of initiated a new downtime. You were looking for Kendrick, but couldn't he hasn't shown up at all. Solfege sent out a silver raven to even find him, but hadn't gotten any kind of response. Solfege did a little bit of research, learning a little bit more about hell, like the 9 hells and like how to get there. And also looked into like magic tattoos, which he got a little bit more information from Scrimsax, the tavern proprietor in Bryn Shander. Dino was able to take a little bit of the ash that was left over on Alejandro's weapon to be able to register Wrath into his bestiary bracer. So he has kind of like the details, the stats and information on Wrath. And also kind of like missing Gino and wanting to just like get out there and find out more, see if he could find out any more information. Came across a tiefling named Gloria that sat with Dino, and while he was playing food, while he was playing some music, sat and enjoyed like the music with him and sat and exchanged trash food with him. Poppy decided to take a little bit of self-care. I think it was just like a kind of like a sitting down and having like a nice cup of tea and enjoying that with the spinning coin from Tamora. You were also looking for a wizard and ended up coming across wizards that were helping with the magical renovation of the arenas. And kind of employed their assistance. They said, it would still be a charge, especially for like being taken away from another job, but they were happy to help you start putting the caravan back together, and seeing what they can do about the enchantment. Alejandro decided to make shoes as to sell as merchandise, and he wrote a remix of Ready Set Garbage. Now, like not being able to really play the other version without Gino, to kind of change the way he used one of his abilities for his electric guitar. And we ended with the crew collectively seeing a vision of Gino walking into a door being opened by the demon Scratch. As we begin again, we're going to zoom away from the group, and we're actually going to go back a little bit. Goosey, before we talk about what brought you to the Icewind Dale, tell me a little bit more about where Goosey comes from.
Well, Goose is it's yes, it's spelled Goosey, and he does answer to Goosey.
But is it pronounced something different?
It's actually just Goose. The C
Goose.
Is, it's like Goose. The double E is silent.
I thought you were gonna say juicy.
No,
the G is pronounced like a J.
No, not at all. Has been a resident of the Inner Sea for, well, since his birth. He has kind of ventured. Hasn't really ventured into the Sword Coast until recently. Mm-hmm. He kind of came over, and that was like 20 years ago. He spent some time up in Silvery Moon, and really he doesn't really remember where he was because his family has always been kind of traveling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, travel, you learn to pick up on things and learn to listen for things. And I think in regard to like your upbringing, obviously traveling, your parents tried to show you the best of both like the big city as well as the country, so you have the air of like you understand the way things work no matter where you are.
Well, exactly, because it's they were like, you should never really get entirely used to any one place, because if you do, then you start to lose things.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always been, better to be a a jack of all trades than to settle down someplace and focus your whole life on something and then realize later that you aren't even any good at it.
Yep. And going into your kind of like young adult years to like kind of like where you leave the nest, you're well prepared for the world around you in a way that nothing's going to surprise you. And you manage to pick up bits of information in your travels. I think you are. It's easier for you to kind of discern what whispers have a shred of truth to them as to the ones that are just tall tales.
Exactly, and that's always kind of the thing. And unfortunately for Goose, unless he writes it down in his book, he oftentimes actually will mess up stories that he's heard. Wrong people, wrong places. But those things become things of their own sometimes, and that's even more interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I think the memory that we're going to come on first is saying goodbye. Saying goodbyes because you have to leave quickly. You find yourself in Baldur's Gate. You barely have enough time to pack your things and get out of there. And we did. I'm pretty sure there was a character. Am I thinking of the right? Sorry, we rolled up 2 characters in the past week for 2 different people. I've heard. Yes, you had a romantic relationship that ended, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I can't remember the name. Eveline.
Yes.
Met in Silvery Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about meeting Eveline.
Eveline was the first person outside of my parents' train that really kind of spoke to me in a way that wasn't like, nobody really speaks necessarily. Well, everybody speaks down to halflings except for kobolds. They don't really speak down to us. Kind of see eye to eye. But Eveline was the first one to really have that kind of aura about them that was really different and kind of unique. And I didn't get what that was at first, because it's that whole, even though we were taught things about the cities and about the wilds, they're still in the trains, there's still that certain amount of familiarity, and we become used to that. And so many of us know our arcana through being bards.
Mm-hmm.
That suddenly it's like, hey, wait, you're doing things but you're not singing or dancing or trying to tell jokes like Uncle Tim. So
yeah. The tension is thick, and you don't think you have enough time to be able to process it. But as you're stuffing things into bags and urging her to, like, we gotta go, she says, Why do we have to keep moving? We have a home here. We have a good life here. We've been adventuring. What is the rush? Why do you need to go? Was it about that paper?
Well, I mean, it's about parts of that paper. There are some people who don't really like that I wrote that, and even though I used a pen name, eventually it's gonna probably come back to bite me, and I am, living in Baldur's Gate, not a good place right now.
Eventually did come fairly fast. Not just whispers on the air, but like people, like a group of people, like a diplomat's attendants that like have like confronted you and said like, we know you wrote this.
Well, yeah, and that's it was too dangerous for me to stay in Baldur's Gate because, and that's part of the whole thing. I became comfortable and complacent, and I extended myself further than I should have, and now there's a lot of people who really are not happy that I told the truth. Although I wasn't entirely able to name all names, but I named enough names that there are people who are not.
Yeah,
happy.
important names, big names. The kind that you start trouble with them, you usually don't, stay in Baldur's Gate. Nobody sees you again, kind of situation. The break is clean. Eveline, says, you always have a home here. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving with you again. If you go, you're gone. Or not if you go, you're gone, but if you go, like, you're going on your own. It's hard. It's never easy to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But makes sense to you. And I think, especially given that kind of trade of not performance but words, just using your words and your creativity to bring things to life and bring that word to life. You find yourself primarily in taverns, not performing but like exchanging secrets and kind of brokering information.
Mm-hmm.
Without a direction. Until you see on like it's kind of like TVs in taverns, but like specifically all made of like magical spell work. You see this insane performance. A towering bug man. And like this like goblin in a suit that is like throwing spells out, a tabaxi that is like shredding on this guitar and like firing off electric bolts. A performance that has never been seen in Faerun, in the Icewind Dale of all places. And you smell a story there. There's gotta be more to these guys. Which brings us closer to present day, where you've managed to find your way up to the Icewind Dale. You find your way to Bryn Shander, and before you can get a chance to talk to this band, they have packed up and have already left to go who knows where. You have your cart, and it's drawn. I think it was elk,
Yes.
right? You've got 2 elk that draw the cart. Decide you think to pursue and kind of see where things go. And before you have a chance to really like get things together to see if you can follow and find their trail, they're back in a different cart, looking dejected, and defeated, and headed towards the blacksmith. You go to enter the shop, and before you can, like, a few people rush out, and it looks like the business owner comes and, like, flips us on and is like, sorry, closed today, and locks the door, leaving you to kind of contemplate where to go from here. And so, like most situations, you end up back at the tavern. Sitting down, they're advertising something called the Alejandro. It's kind of like a chowder, like a fish chowder, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, right? The Alejandro?
Yes.
And at... It wasn't the Wet Trout, it was the Northlook. At the Northlook, this tavern, you catch a goblin in a fine suit that walks up to the bartender and starts asking him about magical tattoos. Scrimsax, the proprietor, shows off a couple of the tattoos to the goblin. The goblin makes a couple notes in a notebook, and the conversation ends, and the goblin leaves. What is your reaction? What does Goose do with the opportunity?
Well, I mean, anybody worth their salt knows that good magical tattoos not only require the knowledge of the artwork, but also good magical ink. So there's only so many places up here in the Dales that could provide that ink. And Goose is like, I should go see what magical ink prices are anyways. I mean, who knows? I might need to add things to the book.
So are you going to talk to the proprietor about that,
absolutely.
or are you going to go after the goblin?
I'm actually going to go talk to the proprietor about I couldn't help but overhear, wonderful fish chowder, but if someone were looking for magical inks for putting things in books or inscribing stuff on skin, like, who would supply that kind of thing?
Oh, that's a lot of people asking me about magical tattoos today. Out here in 10 Towns, I don't know of too many people that would deal in magical tattoos, but like I told Solfege,
Wait, that was Solfege.
Yeah, that was of the Fabulous Funky Five. That was Solfege.
Wow, he's taller in person.
They've been wonderful. It's strange. They don't seem as lively, but they dropped some great a lot of coin here. They brought in a lot of business. I don't know much else about magical tattoos. Like, unfortunately, I wasn't able to give any information in that regard. But there are wizards that are being drawn to 10 Towns because of the tournament. So, there may be somebody out there that has an inventory of magical inks.
As long as none of them are red, we're all good.
Yeah.
Right, am I right?
I don't know what that means, but
if you did, I mean, I might not be worried, but I might also be really worried If you see any guys, people, bald, red, robes, tattoos, you might want to be closed for the day. Just saying. They have a bad reputation everywhere they go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They were in Neverwinter a few years back, and they I mean, I don't know why they would come this far north. I mean, with the baldness and everything.
He's doing the bartender nod. Where he's just like,
so the arenas
closed, under renovations.
But that's where all the wizards are. Yes.
That's I know they're doing like building renovations. I don't know. You probably have to wait till the tournament is started again.
Well, I missed the first round. Missed the second. All right. Maybe I'll. I mean, he's he's pretty tall for a goblin. Maybe I can catch him.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know why you're telling me.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I flip him a gold coin, and I'm beating Mucklucks.
He'll give you a nod and take the coin. Solfesh probably didn't make it very far. He's a celebrity, so he probably only gets like a couple feet before people have like mobbed him for autographs and stuff like that. And you're probably able to catch up to him pretty easily. Solfege, you are like, I mean, you're used to crowds now. You have a swivel on. You have a purpose. I mean, your friend is in the Hells. You're trying to find information about that, but you're not so much on like locked in that you're not going to attend to the fans now that you've started making them. So you give them that little bit of time, sign your autographs and stuff like that. And go ahead, Goose, can you describe your character for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Goose is he's a halfling. He's actually kind of short-ish for a halfling. Yeah, that is Goose. T. Only he's not actually barefoot. He actually has mucklucks on. He actually does in fact wear mucklucks this far north. But yeah, he is quite happy go lucky. He's just shy of like 3 feet tall, so he is a little short for the average halfling. He's a little heavy for the average halfling, but not like barrel, like as we would know, like Bombor from other halfling shows. He just carries a few extra pounds. It's like he enjoys the good things in life. He is wearing a very nice green robe, like dark green robe with silver chasing on it. He doesn't have a hat on, and he has a bright blue satchel that he wears over his shoulder, like a messenger bag. He's dressed fairly well, actually, for somebody who appears to be just out on the streets here in 10 Towns. One thing you will kind of notice as he gets closer is that on his hands, like wrapped around his wrist and then tied, not in any like particular symbol or anything, he has dyed red cords that he has wrapped around his wrists and then like almost woven like cat's cradle across his hands.
Interesting.
This this halfling approaches you, and like not really. I mean, he's just just another fan, right? How do you react to a fan that approaches you?
Sorry. Just trying. Had this friggin' cough for ages and it's driving me crazy. But yeah, I mean, yet another one of my, new adoring public. Welcome. Come to the Dale to see the tournament, I take it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, if you're anywhere and you can get here, then you come this way because it's amazing.
The crowds are definitely starting to flock up here a little bit more, especially after our recent showing was broadcast.
Oh, absolutely. And just so you know, you are taller in person. I'm just gonna let you know.
Thank you.
The broadcasts make you appear. They say broadcasts make you heavier. These ones made you taller.
Soulfetch proudly straightens up just that little bit more, taking the compliment. Like, I'm a 3 foot something goblin, so
Taller than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, we did a bit of a number on the last arena. They've had to fix some things and kind of rejigger a wee bit before the next round of the competition, so we're kind of waiting ourselves to see what happens next.
It's sometimes how arenas go. I mean, they either last or they don't. I mean,
And sometimes giant bug men break through the roof. It happens.
I mean, I've only seen one time where that happened, and you were there personally, so I can't say much about that.
Well, it's a thing that happens now, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So, I was just talking to the lovely barkeep proprietor.
Oh yeah,
and
Scrimsax, good fellow.
Yeah, yes, and that I did not know his name. I've only recently arrived here in 10 Towns myself. I happen to also be after some magical inks for various and assorted reasons.
Mm-hmm. Do you wouldn't happen to have any, any ties to, magical inks, magical tattoos in this area? Anybody who would know?
Oh no, I mean, I've made my way up the Sword Coast from Baldur's Gate relatively recently and relatively quickly. Not even I didn't even stay overnight in Waterdeep because things.
Oh wow, you were in a hurry.
Yeah, but I have my own set of wheels, and they've got spikes on them now because it's cold and icy and makes not big spikes like run you over spikes, but more like traction spikes.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
The terrain can be a little rough up here right now.
It can be.
Well, this blasted eternal winter thing going on.
It is cold. That's why I also packed the scarf. And he kind of moves the strap of his bag aside, and you see that he also has this just lovely red scarf on.
Yeah, Soulfetch has his suit on and a nice hat, but it's seems like it should be a little light for this for this temperature. But he seems strangely comfortable despite that fact.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm noticing that you. I mean, I'm wearing boots and a robe and a scarf, and you appear to be relatively comfortable out here. So I don't know if I've held you up too long, and you were just going from point A to point B, and so therefore, but yeah, yeah, the proprietor, Skursis? No, that's not right. Um, Score sacks. Sack score?
Scrim sacks.
Scrim sacks. That's what it was. I knew it was a carving and an instrument. There we go. Scrim sacks. Anyway,
Checks out.
yeah. He said that you might know. He didn't really know anybody who knew inks in the area, so he said that you might know because you were asking after, I guess, tattoos.
Yeah, I basically, without getting into too many details, it's been an issue with a dear friend with some of her magical tattoos, and I was looking for more information into them.
Ah,
Or a wizard or somebody who has more knowledge about them, but it seems like there isn't any in the area currently.
yeah. I mean, see, the thing with tattoos is their art first and foremost. So when you
Very much so.
combine them with magic, that's asking for someone to not only be an artist but also to be able to imbue them with magic, and those are pretty. I mean, it can be done. Don't get me wrong, but if you get somebody who's all art or more art, less magic, it doesn't turn out as great. And if you go the other way, it also doesn't turn out as great.
Yeah, you need that, that happy medium, the happy mix of the two.
I mean, just look at the Red Wizards. They're all tatted up, and I think that's part of what makes them crazy.
Yes, I think those inks may have seeped a little too far into their brains.
Wait, they had brains?
Theoretically.
Well, I mean,
We leave Solfedge and Goose on the street, having a jovial conversation. To check in, we'll start with Dino. Dino, Gloria, after you share a meal and you sing some songs for her, you get up to go leave, and you're like, okay, bye now, and she kind of starts following you, but not ominously, she's just it's like she's waiting for something.
What you doing floating around like that?
What do you mean?
You waiting? You meeting somebody here? Or...
No, I'm following you.
I'm just gonna go play in some garbage or something.
Okay, let's play in garbage.
I go into the trash, in an alleyway, and there's some trash. I start setting up this whole little stage play. There's little Gino there, my brother, and a bunch of other figures. This is Din. I'm like, oh, I'm Din. I'm gonna kill you guys because I'm a sore loser. I'm gonna have my piece laying on the ground. If I was crouched, I'm blind. And then I'll grab Dino's and the Din piece really quick. They're gonna disappear just like that. You see that, Gloria? And they're gone. I couldn't see, but that's what happened.
Are you talking about... Did that happen recently?
Yes, my brother just disappeared. He's
I'm
gone.
I'm sorry.
He starts muttering to himself. He kicks the garbage can. Then he's like, Gino, whatever his name is.
She reaches into her pocket and hands you another piece of moldy cheese.
I'm like, Gino who? Yeah, I don't even know that guy. I was eating the cheese.
She's like, I'm sorry your brother's gone. I don't want to be, it seems suspicious. Listen, I saw you during the tournament, and I saw you get really big, and I thought it was cool, and you sat down and played music for me, and shared food with me, and I don't have a lot of friends. You seem cool.
You know, I thought I had a friend. I can't remember his name now. Kendrick, that's the guy. He didn't give me a pocket sandwich. You got any pocket sandwiches? I'm gonna ask her.
She kind of like looks a little sad. She goes, "No, only the cheese." But I got a lot of cheese.
Cheese is half of a sandwich, so we could be friends.
She'll give you more moldy cheese. She's like, I was with an adventuring party for a bit, and we went into a dungeon, and there was just a room filled with this stuff.
Cheese?
Yeah, but there's only so much cheese that you can sell in one town before they're like, hey, we don't need any more cheese, and also we're running out of money to buy your cheese. So I had a lot left over.
You're just munching on this cheese.
She's like, it's growing a little bit of stuff, but if you just kind of like pick it off, it's fine.
Oh, it's just some extra seasoning. It doesn't bother anybody. Just eating it.
She also like eats a little bit of cheese. She's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we could use some more, some people in the caravan. Well, what's left of it anyways.
You lost your caravan?
Yeah, this huge demon horse thing ran through it
Oh.
and broke it all over the road.
Huh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, we'll get another one.
Well, I'll try and help you. I don't know much about caravans, but...
Yeah, of course he's gonna start like leading her back towards the caravan, like.
Yeah, she'll follow you. She's intrigued by you. Like when you look over, it looks like she's waiting for something to happen. It's just like she knows that you attract trouble. But yeah, she'll follow behind you and follow you back to the caravan. What about you, Poppy?
Well, I talked to the wizards, and they said they would stop by when they have the time, right? So I guess I'll just go back to Cress and see how she's doing.
She hasn't woken up yet. For a bit, she was a little restless, but she has since kind of calmed down. Still no word has come back from Kendrick at all. But that lead wizard does come to find you and takes a look at the caravan pieces, and he's like, this used to be a cart?
Yeah, it was a very special one. Do I actually still see any sort of connection between Cress and the remainder of the there was this one component I found after the combat, right?
The glowing rod, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw these like this fractured connection between her and this thing, right? Do I still see that? Is that still there?
So like sort of, it's like remnants. It's like you know that something was there even though it doesn't exist anymore. It's less of a thread that connects Cressida to these pieces now, and more of like it's like dust. It's like there's no active magic coming from it, but there is enough like residual magic from whatever the tether was that you can tell that it was there.
Okay, I mean, I will put my faith in this wizard. He's a wizard after all, with enchantment specialty. So I'm like, do you see this here? And I kind of like zhoosh my hands around wherever I see this dust still. put this? Our friend, she was magically connected to this object. Specifically this thing here, I think. I kind of pull out the rod. She has been in quite the state ever since the caravan got destroyed. So I'm attempting to find a way to undo this. I would very much like her to be walking and talking again, if you see what I mean. And I didn't hesitate to like give him like show him this piece. I think I had said that I didn't directly touch it. So I will stick with that. I will stick with that. I'm not directly touching it. I'll put like a cloth over my hands or something. But like I will reach it out to him, show him.
He looks and kind of like he pulls out a loop that has like 4 extra like different lenses of different varying colors. And he starts like cycling through them and like cycling through combinations of them as he's looking over this thing. And he's like, this is freaky magic.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Do you know where this came from?
That I do not. I think I know where it came from, but I'm not telling him. Anyways, I'm not telling him about Cress. Nah, no, I do not. It's been a predicament, really, for quite a while, but... I mean, of course I would love for my friend not to be tethered to this caravan anymore, but right now she is very much wasting away. That's even worse. Wait, just a second, and I kind of take out a parchment paper or something, and I mean it's a workshop, so there's probably some chalk or something, and I just scribble roughly the tattoo that she has. Like, I don't want to show her to him because I think she reverted back to her original form, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna show him the real deal, but I'll like scribble a rough sketch of the tattoo. I think there's a part of the whole deal. It's on her. I would know you, but she's really in no state. We cannot disrupt her rest right now. Does that tell you something?
He'll take the picture of the tattoo. He'll look over things. He's like, okay, so first things first, before anything else, putting the caravan together should be easy. It looks like it's made of enchanted wood, which isn't really a problem for me. I should be able to put all of that back together. He looks at the bar and he's like, without looking at a blueprint, I don't know how this interacts with a caravan. So I'm going to... I'll leave this piece with you. It seems pretty important. I have taken basically all of the information that I can glean about it. I'm going to take this drawing of this tattoo and this information back to my guild. And I'm going to see if anybody can kind of work out what this is.
Thank you so much. I think it goes without saying. Please be discreet when asking around.
It'll stay within my guild and nowhere else. We have a pretty knowledgeable group of people to work with, so... that being said, I'm not going to quote you on anything until I can figure out exactly what it's going to take to do this. Give me a couple days, and I'll see what I can come up with.
Just try to make haste. I'm happy to pay more, but she is in a really difficult, critical condition. I'm quite worried about her.
And with that, he'll take his leave. What did we ever name that dude, or was it just the...
He was like the foreman.
Yeah.
We didn't really name him, yeah.
We're gonna call him... Foreman Calcifer. Yeah, so he'll take the next couple days to get you some information, but you have somebody on the case for that. Alejandro.
See.
what... The last things you were working on when we were kind of in, like, working on the first couple downtime things was... You rewrote Ready, Set, Garbage, made, like, the Alejandro remix. You were working on, like, making shoes for merchandising. Before we start doing, like, downtime rolls again, what would be, like, the general, like, over the next couple days, what would Alejandro be doing?
Probably in the midst of his discussions or with his work with building or making footwear, his boots, he's probably going to be acquiring some new clothing. Is a little some clothing that's a little darker, a little bit more that matches the bardic leathers that he's been wearing for a while. It's just something he hasn't really thought about doing lately, and it just hasn't been on his mind. But in the aftermath of the fight with both the fight with the White Rose assassin that came after him, and the battle with the the band formerly known as, his attitude has shifted to being a little bit more cautious, a little bit more wary of everything going on around him. Like, part of the reason why he's hidden out, he's been basically hiding out inside Black Iron Blades, working on the boots, but just kind of staying out of sight right now because he's been processing, rewriting the song to play. Rewriting Ready, Set, Garbage has really been more about the tribute to Gino and, the sacrifice that he made to us made for us, and hoping that the others in their research, whatever we may be able to find, maybe there's a way that we'll be able to find him again. But maybe it may become necessary to go find him, and not knowing what that might entail.
Yeah. So spending most of your time at Black Iron Blades, I'd say most of everybody kind of makes their way back there then, right? It's kind of like the hub for now while you're working on things. Poppy, Alejandro, would already be there. Or Poppy and Alejandro would already be there. Dino, you're probably the first to come back. And Poppy and Alejandro, you see, like, Dino comes back and there's this, like, purple tiefling that is, like, following him pretty closely. As he, like, walks into the shop, she just kind of, like, stands behind him and just, like, kind of, like, chills. Doesn't really introduce herself or say anything. She seems intent on watching him specifically. Like, she's waiting for him to do something or for something to happen. But otherwise, she just chills. Occasionally, she, like, pulls out, like, cheese out of her pocket. Dino, do you introduce Gloria at all, or do you just, like, post up with her?
Oh, I definitely would. Like, this is my new buddy, Gloria. I met her eating some garbage. She's a fan of the Fabulous Funky Four.
She just kind of, like, waves. She's like, hey.
That's what we're calling ourselves, right? We got rid of the dead weight. Gino?
Dead weight? Are you serious, my friend? That's your brother you're talking about. What's wrong with you, man?
Do you know who? He left us. Don't forget that, Alejandro.
I do remember. I do not forget. I do not forget. He left us. Yes, I understand, but he did what he thought was necessary. Maybe it wasn't, but he made a sacrifice. We cannot dismiss that.
That's true.
You process it yourself, but you process it however you need to, but I will not forget. I cannot forget. Who is your friend, and why should we trust her? We've had many encounters lately with people that we should not have had problems with. I know for no disrespect, ma'am, but I do not know you.
She nods and says, I understand. You've been through a lot. I haven't gotten the gist of everything, but you need show of trust. And she starts stripping down. Like she first like all her weapons, she just like starts dropping them on the floor. Like then she strips down to her skibbies, stands and does like a twirl and like kind of like a shake, and she's like, look, nothing else on me. I don't do the spell crafting or anything like that. I'm chill. I'm cool.
Please put your clothes back on. That's not exactly what I meant, but it's a little weird, but I appreciate your excessive honesty here.
And while that is happening, Solfedge, you and Goose, getting into like a jovial like walk and talk, end up at Black Iron Blades. You both walk through the door, still kind of continuing your conversation, to see Alejandro and Poppy kind of like on one side of the room, Dino just chilling there, and behind him a naked tiefling that is like kind of like shaking, trying to show that like she's not carrying anything, like shaking herself loose.
There's like a twitch in Poppy's eyebrow, and there's like a vein showing on her forehead, and she's just staring.
Alejandro, you assure her that she can put her clothes back on, and she like starts getting dressed again.
Please.
I missed something here.
She's got nothing to hide. She's got cheese. That's it.
Looks like they have other kinds of groupies.
Apparently. Am I interrupting?
God, I hope not.
She just looks over and she's like, hey.
Solfedge, this is Gloria, my new friend. Gloria, Solfedge, and I see you have a new friend as well. Look over at him in the
Yes. Walking and talking. I did never get your name though.
Oh, yes. My name is Goose. Goosee. The E's are both silent.
Okay.
Everyone, Goose, everyone,
Look,
and Gloria.
that's all lovely. You're certainly all very lovely. But it's really not a good time. I'm sure you understand. And she kind of like Poppy gets up from her wherever she was sitting, and she's like kind of shuffling forward, as if to like almost herd people towards the entrance. You know, like.
Wow, somebody did a number on that carriage. That's crazy. Is that a caravan? Looks like it was.
Yes.
Yeah, so you probably still had like a bunch of the pieces of the caravan out that you were showing.
Man, that's rough. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
You
Fortunately destroyed.
You go to usher people out the door, and standing at the door, Goose, you kind of like turn and see them for the first time. This like fire elemental, or like a genasi, like flaming hair, kind of like with this punk rock look. Says, "Oh, Fabulous Funky Five, how's it going?"
It's 4 now, I think.
What?
Fabulous
You're
Funky-
trapped, Dino!
What?
Fabulous Funky 5. That's what it is. At your service. Hello.
You recognize this, Goose. This is MC Ezra. This is the MC for the tournament.
Oh, good. I was startled there for a moment between the young tiefling woman and the suddenly flame. I thought things had caught up with me already, and wasn't expecting that. But now that I see you clearly, oh yes, MC.
Ezra's just like, what? You what now?
Oh, Goose.
Ezra.
Nice to meet you. Really enjoy the way you kind of manage the in-betweens.
Uh-huh. So Fabulous Funky 5, good news. Tournament's back on in a couple weeks. We got logistics worked out. Arenas are basically done. The one in Bryn Shander's almost finished. But that's okay because the arena is done in East Haven, which is going to be your next tournament location. Where is Gino? We were hoping to talk to him about recording more of the album.
Taking a stroll.
Taking a stroll.
Yes.
Don't
Ask me.
Okay.
I'd like. Is that the same kind of stroll? Yeah, never mind.
And the 5 of you are ready for the tournament?
We got it, working on it. We still need to fix out our repertoire. Yes, we're really busy here.
Okay. Couple of things. A couple of the rules have changed for the judging. There is now a requirement of multiple songs during a performance. So, you'll know during the as it progresses in the tournament, we expect to hear more and more music from you, not just the same songs over and over again. Which is hopefully going to encourage you to make an impressive album. But depending on where you are in the tournament will depend on how many songs you're going to need to perform during each. And you'll get the full breakdown once the tournament is underway again. You've got a couple weeks to do some preparation and stuff like that before everybody gets started, but otherwise we're back up. We look forward to seeing the 5 of you out there and ready to perform.
We're looking forward to it very, very much.
Yeah. In the meantime, when Gino gets back from his stroll, get him to reach out, and we'll arrange the next recording days.
Will do.
He's like, Alejandro, also, we got word that you were making shoes?
Yes.
Yeah?
There are shoes, I have put together the first design and some prototypes, and they are going to be selling them here through Black Iron Blades.
Cool.
And maybe elsewhere.
Cool. You want to write a jingle? We can run an ad? A couple ads?
I will work on something, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you reach
Sure.
out to me too. And then lastly, I guess it's for the group album. We've got some solo stuff from Gino, but we don't have anything from the Fabulous Funky 5, so we'd love to get some recording time with you guys too.
Yes. We will come back to you on that one. We have a few problems right now, and I kind of just point at the pieces of the caravan.
She looks over, she's like, oh, neat. And she points at the glowing bar, and she's like, oh, and you got a soul anchor. That's really cool.
Yeah,
What's-
lovely.
what-
I kind of just nod, you know.
What's that tied to?
Uh,
Celestial?
Gruin.
Gruin. Oh,
Gruin,
that's really
Yeah.
cool. That's a good way to keep him attached to the caravan. Yeah, really neat. Okay, well, cool. Sounds like things are full underway for you. I'm going to go talk with Duvessa Shane about the next leg of the tournament here, and who's going to be performing here. And if you need me, let me know.
Well, one question.
Oh, yeah.
Because our manager tied Gruin to the caravan, and she's on vacation right now. I know it's a bad time. We were so angry with her. But not the point. Gruin, he needs some rest, so we thought we'd tie a different fae. Maybe the cats. I I'm talking a lot. So how would we do that with the soul anchor?
Oh, you just do it the same way you did it with Gruen. Why?
But I didn't do it. The manager did it. I don't know how it works.
Well, surely Cress can do it again.
Yeah, but she's on vacation.
I got this. Thank you for stopping by. I'm the interim manager. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Interim manager reaches out to shake your hand. You said your name was Goose?
Yes, Goose Warmwater.
Oh. Hello.
From Point South.
Okay.
Yeah.
Warmwater.
Yeah, Warmwater. You may. My family's originally from around the Inner Sea, Silvery Moon.
Their eyes kind of narrow as they look at you, saying, "Huh. Well, nice to meet you."
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Yeah. It's been a dream.
Ezra gives you kind of that like, I feel like I know you look, and then like turns and's like, all right, fabulous Funky Five. Send my regards to Gino, and I'll see you soon. And Ezra leaves.
Yes, it's
I turn to the other halfling. You.
Hi, how's it going? Goose Warmwater, interim manager. Also, soul anchors are kind of fun and interesting. You can bind other things to them, but generally the person who did the binding needs to do the releasing and the rebinding, which can be problematic, especially with the way that caravan looks. I'm assuming that whoever was on that caravan was your manager, and they are now not in a good condition because that caravan is absolutely wrecked.
If we were to restore the caravan, would it restore the anchor binding?
I mean, the anchor just kind of goes where it needs to go. The anchor is what allows the whatever is bound to the anchor to do the thing that needs. But I mean, most of the time, these kind of things have a location that the anchor goes so that it's accessible but not accessible, because you don't want somebody walking off with it, because then they've basically walked off with whatever you bound to it. Yay! Which is horrible. And you got somebody fixing this caravan?
Yeah, the wizard, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, do they have a? Are they from a reputable school? Do they specialize in conjuration?
Enchantment and construction work.
Oh. I mean, conjuration and transmutation I would probably accept, but enchantment, those guys are mostly hacks. They do weapons really well, and like other items, but like putting things back together, not so much.
Poppy's just like rubbing her temples.
And what you really need is somebody who has skills with the ability to tinker and produce things out of nothing. So I mean, that's really what you need. And chances are you probably. Oh, I'm thinking things. I think things.
You think things.
Yes, I think things.
He's thinking.
Exactly. I mean, it could be worse. I could be not thinking things, which would be
that would probably be worse.
yes.
I just mutter like under my breath. I don't know if there would be a big difference.
Oh, you'd know if I wasn't thinking things, because then I wouldn't be talking. But I am thinking things.
So you're talking every time you're thinking?
Not
Always.
every. This is why I flunked out of school.
So Fed
Look.
just kind of lean over to Poppy and just like whisper. It's like, in my defense, I've only known him for like 10 minutes.
Look, boy, I know we age a little slower, but that doesn't mean that we have to waste time. So, get to the point. What thing are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that between the talk of Gino going for a walk, Dino complaining that Gino's gone, Alejandro saying that he's gone but made a sacrifice, the fact that there is a caravan absolutely wrecked, and the fact that we have been dealing with some. Did Gino go for a walk like Erithil went for a walk?
What?
Yeah, never mind. Is Gino's walk through someplace very warm? Did he go not here?
I'm gonna seize this dude up now and say, I don't think that's any of your business at the moment.
It's probably true. It's probably not. But I. All right, look. Never mind. You wouldn't.
Wait. I look to Gloria. Are you done dressing? You wore like 3 things. How can this take so much time?
Oh, she's fully dressed. She's now like sitting behind Dino. You watch as like she kind of like she pulls out like 2 big things of moldy cheese, like hands one to Dino and like kind of like clinks with them and then eats moldy cheese. Like crisscross applesauce on the floor right beside him.
Has that cheese always been moldy, or has it molded since you found it?
I don't think you want to know the answer to that question.
You would be surprised. Cheese is wonderful. Wonderful. Especially when it's moldy.
I've been holding on to this cheese for a long time, sir.
Okay. I will give you that. Cheese actually does get better with age.
Oh, well that's good.
Yeah.
So what's your deal?
My
Girl.
deal?
No,
Or her
not
deal?
you.
Oh,
Her
it
deal.
looks like her
Who
deal
are
is
you?
cheese.
I'm Gloria. Hi. Dino's my friend. I'm friends with Dino.
My eyebrows raise.
Yeah, I just met her today. He's my buddy.
Hey, and where do you come from? And what are you doing here?
I've been kind of all over the place. Honestly, I don't know how I got here. But I was sitting and I was about to eat some cheese and Dino walked by and he sat down and played some really nice songs and shared his I think he gave me a turkey leg. And I saw like a vision of him like getting huge, and I'm really fascinated by him. So Dino's my friend. I think I'm just gonna follow him for a while.
The vein in her forehead is like popping harder.
Goose is gonna poke his head out the door and just let loose the loudest, shrillest whistle. Like some people put 2 fingers in their mouth. You're pretty sure that he just put like his whole fist in there and just blew this huge whistle, and that's the symbol for his team to come back here.
It takes a minute, but you hear the familiar sound of the elk's hooves beating on Blitzen's like on the front of Blitzen's like horn. James is kind of like, you know how a cat can kind of like mold into anything? That's what James has done. James is this wonderful creature.
James appears to be a cross between a raccoon and a crow.
Yeah.
I like
In the
James.
griffin form.
Okay.
James is just kind of hanging out. I'll put the elk picture up, but you know what elk look like.
Yeah.
And James is, resting on one of the horns, in spite of the elks moving so fast and like bearing down. James just kind of like blobs. Like it's less of like he barely moves except for like a jiggle of his body. And the elk, along with your hoopty, your Vardo, pull up in front of Black Iron Blades.
So you see, I happen to know a thing or two about caravans. This being mine. I've had it for pretty much most of my life.
Is it made of magical wood?
No, it's just made of regular wood. I have not yet had a chance to make one of magical wood. It is on my list of things to do.
Look, when we're
Although-
talking about dinner, I'm looking at the Catcoon.
I mean, if you really want to try to eat James, you can. He's probably not going to like it very much.
You say if you want to try, you eat him, you can. He kind of like moves his like beak or his eyes to you. He's like, "Meh."
Rude. You know how to speak, sir.
Meh.
Lazy creature.
Hey, time out. Do I kind of just try to grab Dino and like the other two and like huddle with them, basically, and I kind of whisper, "Okay, I'm so tired, so very tired.
It's
We don't know these people. We have a lot of problems, and we cannot let them stay here. Cress is in the back, and she reverted to her original form. Nobody can see her. Why are you bringing all these people here?"
I'm gonna wander into the back. By the way, just
No, we're in the back. We're like
Yeah, it's
Oh, if
of
you're
the
by
store,
the-
and we're like blocking the way. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
We're like, we need to repair this thing. What is up with this tiefling? Who the
It's-
hell is she? And what are you guys doing?
a
I'm so
group-
tired.
a groupie, I guess. Do you know it's a groupie?
Listen, we're down on our cards. We need more cards in the deck, okay? It's not so bad. Look, we got that Catcoon thing. That guy's got a wagon that we don't really have at the moment.
Okay. Why don't we
It's-
relocate to the tavern and discuss this there?
I'm just picking up pieces of the other caravan and holding them together, and then using mending on them. Kind of
you
trying
find
to piece them together.
it's working, but it's like the pieces that look like they fit make sense, like puzzle pieces, but there's some pieces that are like, I don't know where this is supposed to go.
Oh, that's where I'm gonna get interesting, and I would like to do some of my my special stuff.
Are you shenaniganing? Do you shenanigan?
I do shenanigan. I'm going to I'm just trying to figure out exactly which way of shenaniganing to do it the best. Because mode of potential doesn't really work.
Give me an Arcana roll.
Okay, I can do that. That I can do. I can do that all day long. And boom.
19's good. Well, enchantment wizards traditionally are hacks. Poppy had the right idea talking to the construction wizards, because this is the build. It's there's something about the pieces and how they're broken and how, like, some of them are fitting together. It's like, yeah, this looks like the standard part of a cart or a caravan, but you're looking at some pieces and it's like you're not sure if they were added after the fact or like what they would be part of, but it looks like they housed something, maybe.
Yes. So, interesting. I can do some fixes, but not all the parts go where the parts go, because some of the parts don't go with the thing. I mean, if you had the person whose cart this was, chances are that they could describe it or help fix it themselves.
You're putting pieces together where you have this understanding that it is either going to take some intricate work or you're going to need like a blueprint of whatever this caravan's original design was. While you're working on that, Poppy, Dino, and Solfege, you're kind of like tucked into the back room discussing.
And sometimes Goose just talks as he's pushing pieces together. He just talks to himself.
You notice that the door is closed. Gloria, it seems like she doesn't want to impose her pride, but she does like sit beside the door, just waiting. She just like sits down and starts eating her cheese again. Solfege, Alejandro, and Dino in the back. Poppy specifically, you're kind of like going off like we can't trust these people. Dino is saying that you guys need more cards in your deck. Alejandro, you've been silent.
Do we know if are we considering either of them as a temporary replacement for the band? Is that what we're exploring here? Do we know if either of them are musically inclined? I'm hesitant to bring in somebody else who might get hurt.
I haven't seen anything to indicate either of them are.
I mean, yes, of course, we could add some more. I mean, it might be helpful to have people around that have other skills that we could use, but how are they to participate in our band activities, or are we just planning to handle that ourselves? And we cannot. I don't know that we can continue. I don't know how long we can continue to lie about whereabouts of Gino.
Yeah, that was just a shorthand measure. What I want to do right now is get this situation with Cress solved. She is very vulnerable right now. She has enemies. There's a reason why she was cursed in the first place. And I don't want to make any decisions before we have that out of the way.
I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, we need to make sure that we are handling what we can that is in front of us right now. What we can do something about, we will do something about. Cressida needs our help. We will help her. She is here in front of us. We should handle that problem. But the only question I have here is, we have 2 additional people here now standing in front of us. At least one of them sounds like he might be knowledgeable about magical things. Maybe.
He and I were having a bit of a discussion regarding magical tattoos.
I mean, he certainly could be an asset. I don't know what skills the tiefling has, other than the fact that she seems to enjoy eating junk food, garbage.
She did have weapons on her. Like, she had some kind of strange looking, like, arquebus like device, like some kind of like a gun on her back. And it looks like she had a couple like blades like that when she disrobed she had taken and like dropped at your feet. So does that appear that she does have like some kind of combat training? But nothing.
What is she doing right now? She's just hanging out.
Well, you guys are in the back room.
Right.
But like
she's outside.
Yeah, she's just outside the door, just hanging out, eating cheese.
I think we need to
not too
be.
harmful.
Maybe we should question her a little bit more thoroughly and find out more about her.
Well,
Would you?
Why don't you do that? That's a really good idea.
You want me to do it myself? You don't want all of us to do it. You want me to do it? Because I can do it, but.
could all do
You people. I just had the idea. Maybe.
What do you mean, you people?
I just thought maybe. Since he seems knowledgeable, I could show him the copy of the caravan we made. Maybe that helps. Because we made a copy of the caravan in our little pocket dimension.
I don't want to presume anything, but you are both halflings. Maybe you can find a way to, bridge a gap there.
And we can.
I know he's a little bit excitable. He's he's energetic. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, he's got a lot going on up here, and in here as well. He's very vocal about many things. He's got a lot of opinions, and that might not be
thought I
a
had
good
left.
thing.
I really thought I had left this all behind when I said goodbye to my 213 grandchildren. Okay, I will deal.
God forbid you had there are any other grandchildren that have come about since you left them.
That is a lot of grandchildren.
Like grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, and blah, 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 blah.
Still.
That's a lot of grandchildren.
Yeah, it was a big
Anyway.
house.
That's like an entire community. You just like somewhere there is just Puppyville somewhere, There's just Puppyville.
She
And they're
is
all
so
just
old,
descendants of
man.
Puppy.
She is super old. She's like on death's door, guys.
Well,
so she had like so many generations after her.
Still, I think we know how Poppy passed the time in her younger days.
I don't even want to think about that. I've already had an eye full of blue tiefling today, which was very impressive, but it was more than I was expecting at this point.
Yeah, I
good
was
for
not
them.
expecting to walk in on that.
I was not
It's a
expecting
looker
her
when
to
I
do
was
that.
younger.
I was talking about her motivations and could we trust her, and then she just strips down and takes off all of her clothing. It's like, listen, this is not what I asked.
Was that a distraction, Alejandro?
Maybe she was,
deter us from the question?
maybe that's exactly what
right now.
that's exactly what she did. Maybe she distracted us by getting nude.
Change the topic. I was even
Getting nude.
but
I mean,
our
it
string of
worked,
bad luck.
if that was her goal.
Our
Apparently.
string of bad luck the past week. We're bound to get lucky somewhere. Maybe this is a blessing,
Very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Extra hands. The caravan's gone, and he happens to have a caravan that's.
Let me show the copy of the caravan to him. You figure out a bit more about this lovely young woman that we are now so intimately acquainted with. Elsa? And I kind of search for the other two that are, I assume, around somewhere. The two dwarfs.
Yeah, they've probably been there the whole time, just
I'll
doing
kinda
their business
just
stuff.
whisper, can you maybe keep an eye on Cress, make sure nobody goes into her room, and that she's all right.
Yeah, we can keep the door locked, so like nobody goes in there without the key.
Just for a few minutes, just stay with her, please. At
Yeah,
the door.
yeah. Elsa can stay with Cress and lock the door up, and she'll just like ask Garn to like manage the shop. But nobody's really come in since you guys have been in there.
Okay, let's go. I will walk off back out of the back and find Goose.
About how long were they in the back?
Like 10 minutes tops.
Awesome. While they're gone,
Oh God.
I have pulled out my cheat book, and I have brought an unseen servant into being ritually, and I have told him to go into the back of my caravan and make me some food, and to get me some food and some wine. So yeah.
Ghost servant, make me a sandwich.
Gloria, like, this invisible thing is working on making you food and stuff, and Gloria starts, like, following it around until Dino comes out. And he's like, oh, you're back!
We were just having a little discussion. We're back.
Cool.
Band meeting.
You wanna go dive in some garbage?
No, we would like to have a conversation.
Oh, okay.
I would like to know a little bit more about you. If you would indulge me.
Okay.
What is your profession? What do you do? Are you an adventurer? Do you have a talent, a skill, a job? Are you a musician?
When I started out, we were hired for a job. We were just investigating dungeons. Where I come from is nowhere near here, and to be honest, I don't know how I got here.
Okay. What was your role in this job you were hired to do?
Oh, I just killed things. Bad things, monsters. Like I said, we did a lot of dungeon crawling.
Are you a fighter? Are you a scout?
I can fight. She pulls out her shotgun and says, "Not really. This does most of the work."
I see. Do you tend to fight from a distance? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what that device does?
She looks at it. She's like, "It looks like it would be like that, but nah, this is all for up close and personal."
It looks a little like a crossbow, but not quite. It looks very, what is the word, mechanical?
That's a good observation. Yeah. It makes... Have you ever seen a bomb?
I have seen things explode.
Yeah, it makes things explode.
I see. It explodes itself, or it makes things explode?
Well, it fires things that make things explode. Just by sheer force.
I see.
I blew up a grapefruit once. It was... not a grapefruit. I blew up a melon once. It was really cool.
Do melons fight back?
No.
I did not think so. That was a rhetorical question. I apologize.
Sorry, the melon does fight... The melon fights back after you blow it up.
Is it dependent on ammunition, much like a crossbow?
Yeah.
Or a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Are you going to need to restock your ammunition supply?
I got enough for now, and I can make my own.
Do we need to talk to our friend out here, our blacksmith friend, about getting some ammunition made up for you so that you have a ready supply available for restocking?
She kind of shakes her head. She's like, I should be good for now, but...
Okay.
I appreciate you asking.
Do you have any musical talents?
Not really.
Do you have any interest in learning any musical talents?
I mean, I could. I'm more Just here to hang out with that guy, though. She points to Dino.
Well, that guy is going to be participating in musical competitions here in the near future, along with the rest of us, and it would be beneficial if we had some additional persons in the band. You need to. Do you understand what this competition is? Have you seen it?
I have. From my understanding, though, you entered with 5. You need 5, right?
Well, I mean, yes, we will probably need a replacement for our missing bandmate. Yes, that is why I'm asking you these questions about whether or not you are proficient in any kind of performance of the musical variety, or if you would like to learn, because we might be able to teach you at least a little something supportive. I mean, it could be just as simple as playing a drum and making a beat. A tambourine, a harmonica. There's all kinds of different. We could put bells on your heels, or I can make you a nice pair of boots with janglies on there, and you can stomp in rhythm. It could be very entertaining. We could teach you how to dance. I'm actually quite proficient at it myself. I've even danced with Poppy a time or two.
She nods and says, "Okay. I mean, if it means I get to stick around and hang out with Dino, sure."
Well, I mean, we will also be doing some other activities that do not involve the band competition, and I say them as long as you can pull your own proverbial weight, that we should be fine with your assistance and you sticking around with us and helping us as we go forth. I mean, it sounds like you have already had a bit of a taste of the adventurer's life, and you would like to continue to pursue that, maybe work, earn some coin, find some treasure, slay some monsters.
That's all
kind of
yeah, all par for the course for me. Until I can get home, I don't have really any other friends here or anybody that I know, and Dino was super nice to me, and I don't know, I just get a good vibe from him, so...
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
Do you really enjoy the taste of garbage? Is it is the flavor desirable to you, or do you like regular people's foods?
She kind of leans in close, and she's like, "Truth be told, the garbage is making me really sick, but he seemed like he needed the encouragement,
I understand.
So I'm just kind of holding it down right now. Even the cheese doesn't make me feel really great. I just have a lot of it.
Maybe the first thing I need to teach you is a little sleight of hand. That way, when you can pretend to eat it, and then you just kind of just make it disappear.
She kind of nods. She's like, that would be really great.
We'll work on that. How good are you with your fingers, with your manual dexterity?
She's
Better than average?
She's trying to figure out how to test that for you.
Do you juggle?
You watch as she kind of calculates a little bit, and she takes her dagger from her side and tosses it up, and tosses it with enough precision that it doesn't hit the roof. It does a full tilt down, and as it drops, she without looking catches the blade, and she's like,
very good. That's good enough. I like it
Pretty neat.
very much. I mean, I figure if you do you have to repair this weapon that you use, that you were talking about exploding things with? Do you have to fix it from time to time?
hasn't kicked out on me yet.
Okay.
She holds it up, and you see that there's little glowing runes that are etched into the sides of it.
Is this weapon magical?
I think so.
Hold on a second. And I go rummaging. I go find that crossbow that what's his name had that we dropped, that we've kind of brought back with us, but it's just been kind of there. I was like, what do you make of something like this? And I just kind of set it up on the counter in front of her.
She's like, wow, that's really cool.
Apparently, this thing shoots fireballs.
It what now?
Firebolts. The band that we encountered, that used to be a band, but is no longer a band, and they apparently made some kind of a deal with the devil. They were all enhanced with some kind of lower planar abilities, and this thing. No offense. But they apparently made some kind of a deal with the devil. I think his name was Scratch, and because of that, they had these items and weapons and skills and abilities, and they were no longer apparently a band. They were a full-fledged, like, fighting force. And this man had this thing, this crossbow, this magical crossbow, and it shoots fireballs. This is part of what did. You see the damage that it did to the caravan that we had been trying to repair. It is responsible for part of that. Like, it caused us to wreck the thing, and it was insane. It created a huge explosion.
She looks and she goes, "Well, that would make sense. The magic on, or like, see that this kind of script here, and like this kind of script over here. That's infernal."
You can read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't.
No, it's not one of my skills.
Well,
I am not proficient in that language, no. But, I don't know. Maybe you could, I can speak a little Draconic, I speak a little Dwarf, but that's about it.
Oh, well, it's kind of, when we were growing up, my parents wanted us to learn a bunch of languages, just in case we would ever need to know. Yeah. This is infernal. She looks over. Hellworm crossbow?
That sounds like a dragon from hell is what it sounds like.
I mean, that'd explain the fire.
Very much so. So it would be like a burst of fire. Well, maybe we'll test it. Outside, not inside. I don't need any more exploded buildings or caravans or anything like that today.
Yeah, we never really took a good look at the stuff that we looted off of them.
We did not.
No.
It's not. The crossbow thing is not really up my alley. Soulfedge, it might be better for you, somebody like yourself, or even Cressida, or I'm sorry, even Poppy. Somebody who's, going to fire from a distance or whatever. I don't know. Maybe our new friend here might be a benefit, or one of them it could be a benefit for them. I don't know. It's not the way I don't want to approach encounters, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I am horrible about names. What was your name again?
Who? The
young
tiefling?
lady. Yeah.
Oh, my name's Gloria.
Gloria. Just Gloria?
I think so.
I didn't know if you had a surname, like Murrietta. My name is Alejandro Murrietta. Murrietta being a surname, a family name.
I'm gonna be honest, Alejandro. There is a good possibility that at some point in time I hit my head really hard because things are kind of spotty. I remember where I came from. A place called Solasta. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of Solasta? Nobody has recognized it so far. But I know that's where I came from. I think. And I woke up in a cave. It was cold. And when I found civilization finally, it was here that I found. I didn't recognize this place. I don't know much about it. I've been just kind of living on the streets. I didn't really have any gold or anything on me to be able to pay for a place to stay. I ran into Dino, and Dino shared food with me, and I don't know. There's something about him that just feels safe, so I just followed him.
So are you proficient with any kind of tools of any kind, or crafting? Anything that we could turn into something you could earn a little coin for yourself?
I'm willing to learn. If you know, I noticed that lady with the flaming hair said that you were making shoes.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. I struggle with wearing them myself, obviously, because of my nomenclature or my taxonomy. But I do love shoes and boots, and particularly with dancing. Um, they are a wonderful thing, and they protect your feet, especially in an environment like this where it's very cold. I don't want to get frostbite. I like my toes where they are, if you know what I mean.
You know what? Yeah, I get that.
How are your shoes? Do you have a good pair of shoes right now?
Yeah, she's wearing like boots. So she is dressed not even like a common adventurer. Like, she is dressed like a seasoned adventurer. Like, she's got it appears to be some kind of like leather armor that is a part of the rest of her outfit. She's wearing like adventurer's clothes, albeit maybe a little bit scuffed up. Like, it looks like she's been adventuring. You would be like, there's no way that she's just some fresh face. But when she says that she doesn't remember, like, it's genuine. She's not being deceitful. She's not lying. I wouldn't make you roll the insight for it, because it seems like from everything you've gathered, she's genuinely trying to be honest.
Okay. But she's carrying the weapon, the shotgun or whatever it is.
Yeah, this arcane.
She said she was carrying some blades. I think like daggers.
She's got
anything.
a dagger on her side, and it looks like a scimitar on her back.
Okay. So, the bladed weapons that you carry, do you fight with those as well?
Sometimes, if they manage to get that close.
Do you fight with one hand or two?
Two.
Oh. Maybe we should spar just a little bit, just to, not right now, but you know what I'm saying. We could spar just a little bit to keep ourselves sharp.
You want to tear it up with me, Catman? Let's go.
I would be delighted, actually. I look forward to it. Maybe we can do that soon. I just wanted to take a chance to get to know you a little bit, Gloria. I need to be able to trust the people that are around those that I am here to protect.
I am really good at being optimistic. I don't know what is happening, how I got here. I know that things are seemingly a little bit bad for you guys. And I want you to know that I am not approaching with any kind of malice or bad intent. I have just this genuine feeling that my gut tells me that Dino is a safe person. He's really he was really nice to me, and I think when that voice tells me that I should do something, it usually works out. So, if you're not opposed, I'm happy to pull my weight where I can, but I'd love to stick around and see if that instinct is right.
He's been a little angry in his communications, but he is very much, I think, missing his brother right now, and it's going to be hard for him to process that. Him and his brother, they didn't seem to get along, but I think they fought like brothers do, that brothers do. They scuffle, they fight, they tumble, they wrestle. He's not going to have that now, and I think, he's going to have to find an outlet, some other way to interact with people. So it's good that he made a new friend. That's a very positive sign, I think. So I'm more than willing to, you are welcome to stay, and we shall go from there.
As for for the tournament, From what that lady, really seemed like she was emphasizing on the 5 of you. So I'm happy to stand in if I can, but she points at Goose. She's like, he might be a better bet.
Well, I haven't had a chance to I haven't actually spoken with him yet. I've kind of listened to what he's had to say, so he will be our next. We will have another conversation here shortly with him.
She's like, what I know for sure do is offer any, I can offer protection if you need somebody to guard the caravan when you guys are doing the shows, or, I tend to the animals. I can help in that way too.
Very well. Well, welcome aboard, Gloria.
All right. Right on, man. Thank you. I'm gonna go outside and throw up this garbage. And then you just
Here, and I will. Where's my inventory at? I will hand her a few gold and tell her, go down the street and get yourself something better to eat, okay?
She kind of like, you see like the twinkle of a tear that starts to come from her eyes, and like she turns before you, like thinking you haven't noticed. She's like, yeah, thank you, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna go. And she's like, Dino, I'll be back.
Waves with all 4 of his arms. Like, bye. I'll see you after.
And yeah, she'll go. She's like visibly like she's like trying to make it seem like it's not affecting her, but like she's now like rushing out the door in that way, like that she is about to run and throw up somewhere.
Do I hear her?
You probably do. Your perception's pretty damn good. Yeah. You think she?
And I just kind of look. I just kind of like just a quick glance at the door and be like, ugh.
Yeah, she probably only made it like a couple doors down before she just couldn't hold it in anymore.
So what's Goose doing right now?
Goose is being served by an unseen force. Like it has brought in like a tray of like lovely meats and some fruits and a nice pie and a couple of bottles of wine, and it's brought him over, and he is currently sitting on top of a table because he's a halfling, and he is currently taking bits of the caravan and kind of pushing them together, and then when they fit correctly, you just kind of see him, he just kind of does one of these with his fingers, and you watch as it begins to kind of, parts of it begin to stitch together.
Okay.
And then once the tray gets over to him, he's just like, ah, yes, working up an appetite. Haven't eaten in a couple of hours. Time to dine. Anyone else? Anyone else? There's plenty to go around. I mean, mostly to go around.
I'm sitting there using my sending stone. I'm slamming it. I'm like, Gino, if you want to answer right now, I'm going to take your antennas out and build a snowman out of them. Like, oh, yes, I'd love to eat.
Roll a D100 for me. Mark my words, Dino. I'm gonna get you. You're safe for now.
These silly rocks don't work. Thought I could talk to him with these, but I guess not. I think I'll start eating.
Everybody else is hearing the message through the sending stone, but like nothing is coming back.
You heard him make a snowman out of Gino's antennas.
Yeah, I will wobble my way over to Goose. To the table he's sitting on, and like I poke my head over the over the table. I mean, the table can't be that high. This is a halfling store. This is a dwarf store.
Yeah.
Not that much bigger than us.
True.
So. Poke my head over the table. So I had an idea. Would you mind if I showed you something, boy? And I'm talking in halfling, and I have like this thick Heartland accent, like super farmery, and you know, from the halfling settlements there, like kind of waving him off the table, basically.
Well, all right. Sure. It's been a while since somebody threw halfling at me, especially Heartland halfling. Yeah, I'll follow.
And I think we actually already made the rift, because it takes several of us, right, to play the song. I think we made the rift in the Black Iron Blades.
Yeah, but it only lasts so long.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, like, you can probably have it open whenever you want here. The band, Poppy gathers the band over, and they start playing a song until like a door, like a spectral door, opens up behind her.
And then I kind of shoo the rest away to go talk with Gloria, and I'm like, "Come, follow me." And I just walk through the rift, basically.
The blue bottle is Water Davian, and the green bottle is from magic.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, Soulfetch is like, yes.
Yeah, I go through the magic portal because magic.
So, as we like walk through, and the caravan pops up in our little space, we made a copy of the caravan. I don't know if it's
that makes things so much easier. I can figure out where parts go.
Well, I'm not 100% if it's completely accurate. You know, we created this out of a sense of what the caravan means to us and what it is, rather than a blueprint. But it hopefully is somewhat helpful. What do you think? And I mean, for me, it looks like the caravan looked, right, from Cress.
Yeah.
Like
it's the interior that looks different. I think it's kind of like TARDIS-like, where it like extends to kind of fit all of the accommodations. Because inside the one that you have, you've got like 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a sitting area, and a privy, where like there was enough space for like there wasn't even a room. It was a door that led to nowhere. that Cress could like just walk in and out of, but you would open it up and it's like, oh, this is a cupboard. That's weird. Where is she?
Yeah, I will actually tell him that too. That Cress's original caravan had basically some type of space that was accessible only to her, and for us it was a cupboard. But yeah, like I like explain everything, and
kind of like a mansion, but on wheels. That takes some interesting.
But they managed to write a song that creates like a spectral version of the caravan that gives them like a mobile. They called the song "Home Away from Home," and it's exactly what it is. It's what they have familiarized themselves with as home, which is the caravan, but it makes it much more livable as in the interior. However, the focus for you right now is the exterior, because it does look like a carbon copy of their caravan. And they're looking at it, you can see that before you were like, oh, this piece doesn't go with here, that doesn't make sense. You can see now that the caravan almost has like a separate molding to it, that it's almost like there is a different frame than the caravan itself that was attached on afterward. And seeing that now, it makes a lot more sense that a lot of the fixtures, it wasn't just a design choice. The way that it is built on top of the caravan almost forms like a kind of circuit. And as you follow it and follow where it would go, they didn't know that the chamber existed, but you, piecing things together, found pieces that were like, this housed something. This contained something. And looking at how it leads, it looks like it leads under and inside the caravan, and it looks like that's where that piece would have gone.
Aha. Well, that's wonderful. Give me just a moment. Do you have any wood?
Well, the wizard
Metal?
said he would provide us magical wood if he.
No. I just need wood right now, please. If you have
Wood.
any.
Look, if I have something wooden in my inventory, I probably do.
I'm sure Black Iron Blades has plenty
Yeah,
of
that-
wood on hand for.
Yeah, true. I will be like, yeah, just a second. I like pop out of the rift and I kind of waddle into the back, and then I waddle like I ask, of course, if I can have some wood, and then
Yeah.
I waddle back, and like, I mean, she is an ancient halfling. Like she's basically at the end of the life expectancy of a halfling. She's real old, but she like kind of waddles back with just this massive pile that she super effortlessly just carries back into the rift. You know, like.
That'll work.
But like she walks
work.
like hunched over like an old person. This here, that.
Yeah, just put it down. And by the time she's got back, I have the lyre out. And I'm kind of tuning it. And then I'm like, all right, give me just a moment. And I begin to strum. I'm using the fabricate version, or the fabricate component
Yeah.
to it.
Oh, do you
and
have
I am-
what I think you have?
And I am making a wooden copy. I'm using the wood to make a copy of the spiritual copy,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to sit in here and look at it or take parts back in. I can take this little miniature version out with me,
Yeah.
so that I can continue to put the puzzle together.
Yeah, Fabricate will let you do that, no problem at all. So you watch as he plays this lyre, and as he does, you watch as the wood starts to form and like kind of not break down, but start to chip away. Like you watch as like the wood doesn't go anywhere. There's no shavings or anything like that, but the wood etches away from the block until you have like this perfect replica of the caravan in front of you.
Does that pick up? Yeah, no. And that's beautiful. That melody, that is. Why did you learn that?
Oh, that melody is just well, I mean, it's the basics of a piece I'm working on. Eventually, it's gonna have a performance component with it, and by performance, I mean something's gonna dance. I haven't decided what yet. I haven't quite got there yet. I did spend a couple of years in college, and that didn't go well.
Yeah, you can forget about that. You learn the things the best by experiencing them, living. I learned the best music while we were traveling. Well, if you want to play with us, I would love that. You know, just stretch our fingers a bit, relax when... I don't want to interrupt you. You seem to be quite intrigued about this, but like afterwards, let's have a drink and make some music.
I'm done. We can go back out now. I've got the nice little copy here, and the lyre does actually have 11 strings, so I can tune it to 11, and that will make things useful for other things.
How long have you been playing?
All my life. Well, ever since I was able to pick up an instrument. My first instrument was the flute, which I'm pretty good at. And then I learned to play the lyre. My mom insisted that I learn some kind of string instrument. And then for funsies and the shock value, I know how to play. Oh, that's a good idea. Puts the lyre away. and he pulls out the cat sack, and he starts blowing it up, so that he's ready to play when they walk back through the magical portal. Because he's gonna crank the bagpipe as soon as he walks through the portal.
He starts.
She laughs because she has like actually a horn hanging from her side. She's not gonna pick it because it's a horn of blast and I don't want to blow anybody up. But she laughs because she's also a noisy halfling, so she kind of waddles behind him as he's like playing and walking through the rift.
There's a little like it's fun, and you get, especially after losing Gino, it's been hard to get a good chuckle or a good laugh. But as you follow him play, you get that memory of Gino playing on his weird bagpipes that he had. And you just, it's like, it's not sad, but it's just kind of like that, like Gino would have loved this.
Bittersweet.
Yeah. And he comes through the portal to the other side, back in the Black Iron Blades, just blasting on this, these bagpipes.
And I'm because it's performance, I'm gonna actually zhuzh it up a bit, and with prestidigitation, I'm gonna make it look like there's flames coming out of the stacks.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm just hammering away, and then there's little flames shooting up on the drones.
Give me a performance check. Just want to see how you do.
I'm gonna
The cupboard. Closet.
Yeah, can I swap that for the 12 that I rolled earlier? Oh wait, no, I'm a halfling. Never mind. I'm just gonna re-roll that.
Yeah.
I'm a halfling.
I'm just a halfling. I'm just gonna re-roll that.
It's what, bountiful luck?
Oh, I just have halfling luck, so anytime I roll a 1, I can re-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
With bountiful luck, if anybody else rolls a 1, I can give them the re-roll as well.
Yeah. Hold on.
That's significantly better.
I can adjust that on your character sheet too, so that it just does it automatically when you roll a 1.
Oh, nice.
Where is it? Halfling lucky. Okay. Oh. Oh, thank you. I think it's having a bit of an issue there because it's not letting me save that. Oh.
Lost a couple chips, I'm sorry.
Lost my chips!
I'm sorry.
God damn it!
I did my best.
Sorry, we had some food going in the crock and it's done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, this isn't letting me do anything else. Let me refresh there. 29. Yeah, you... This guy who came out of nowhere, this halfling, is killing it. Is absolutely killing it. And especially, again, the bagpipes, it's... You're getting that... It's not a weird song about garbage, but you're still getting that happy, bittersweet reminder of Gino and, his kind of antics. And I think in a way, it's a little bit comforting. It's funny. And so you come out, you've got the little sculpture you have of the caravan. And you're going to have an easier time now putting it together with that mending, knowing the pieces, knowing where they go, and now anticipating and having this idea of where this magical bar would rest, because now you understand that it fits inside the caravan. It is not a part of the caravan, but it is contained inside the caravan. You should be able to makeshift a chamber with the pieces to be able to fit it inside and seal it.
Awesome.
As you do, once you get to a point... Once you get it to a point, like, you guys have to move it into the back. There's, like, there's, like, the back room, and then there's the back. And over the next couple days, as you're putting it together, you have to work really hard to fit the final moldings and fit everything so that it was perfect like it was before. But when you do, there is a spark. And you notice it immediately, but you don't see it. But Poppy sees it. Poppy, the threads are still... Can you hear me right now, Anya?
Yeah,
I know
I'm just grabbing a beer.
Yeah, no worries. So, Poppy, what you see is that the spectral thread is still broken, but the pieces are glowing. And where it connects to the caravan has that glow. And when the wizards come back, or the foreman comes back. When the foreman comes back, he doesn't have a lot of information about the caravan itself, but that part's now taken care of. And what he has for you is what the tattoo is. The tattoo on her body is a modification of the reincarnation spell. It is an incredibly powerful spell. And what it is doing is the reincarnation, rather than revamping the person or like becoming a new person, it maintains the person that was, but something has to shift. And so rather than her soul being tied to her body, it's tied to the caravan. She can't exist without it.
That, thank you. But what do I owe you for that?
He's like, I didn't have to do anything. I had to ask a couple questions and talk to the right people. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. This is the most intriguing thing I've ever seen. Who did you say this was on?
Friend. I can't really get into it. I apologize. If the thing was restored, you know that her reincarnation spell was binding her to. Do you believe that would then fix the issue?
At this point, all you would need is somebody who can restore the thread.
Restore the thread. And who could do that?
Oh,
a holy person or a caster?
No. This is you need a caster. This is arcane magic. This isn't a healing. The spell itself is a healing like reincarnation is a transmutation spell. So you would need somebody with a deep understanding of transmutation spells. But if you can find somebody who is fairly well versed in that, they would easily be able to weave this back together.
I think I know somebody. But just in case, do you have any colleagues? Just in case.
The colleague that I referred to for this doesn't know this kind of magic personally. in theory, more than anything else. But they couldn't replicate this spell if they tried.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anything I can do for you to show my gratitude? That is very helpful.
Pulls out a figurine of you. It's like, could you sign my figurine?
Of course. I sign it.
He's like, my grandson's gonna love this.
Oh, you.
And with that, he takes his signed figurine and he walks after giving you your information.
Amazing. So, I'm gonna go right back to our newfound halfling with all this information. Or maybe he was already there listening because he's the caravan constructor. We'll be like, so, can you do it?
I mean, I'm okay at transmutation. I understand how it works. I mean, I mean, if it's already broken, I mean, I can't break it further.
It was much more broken before. It's looking better already. I can see it. Here,
Oh.
right here. And like I point at the fragments of the thread. It's right here. You see it, right?
No. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You cannot visibly see the thread.
Yeah,
Goose.
I'm not seeing anything. Sorry. It could just be that whatever's allowing you to see it is not allowing me to see it because I'm new.
Oh. Okay. Um my god, look at this. My dog wants attention. Okay. Well, what do you think it could get worse if you make a mistake? Like, how volatile is all of this? Usually, transmutation magic. You know, right? Tell me what the.
Well, generally transmutation magic is the turning of one thing into another thing, which is pretty straightforward. But he wasn't entirely correct. I mean, transmutation is actually linked pretty closely to. This is gonna sound really bad, but it's not. Technically, it's linked to necromancy. Especially when you're dealing with things like healing and reincarnation. Because I mean, really, that's what reincarnation really is you're transmuting the body, you're keeping the soul, transmuting the body, which is really weird. Um, but
Okay.
I'm assuming that the tattoo is the tattoo fixed?
Is the tattoo fixed? I mean, it didn't really break. It was just starting to like have lines and stuff, right?
It's the same thing where it looks like it's shattered pieces. So the lines are still on her body, but they look broken.
Not fixed.
See, that's probably part of the problem. Then is you gotta fix the like if the person with the tattoo that you showed him is bound to this caravan, then when it got shattered, they got shattered. So like I fixed this, but I haven't fixed that.
Can you fix it?
I mean, I can take a look. I mean, I not gonna lie, I know a few things about healing, which is a little weird, but it is. I was born. My mom said I was born with a mark from another place, and occasionally it shows up among her family. Um, So anyways, I mean, if you want me to look at the person, I can do that, and I can assess.
Gloria's like, you got a birthmark?
Yeah, I got a pretty big one.
Is it on your butt?
No,
Oh,
no, it's not.
Okay, give me just a minute.
It's actually over my spleen.
I'll do huddle time.
And he actually like undoes his shirt and like shows it off. It's like this big purple red birthmark.
Why is everybody getting undressed in this shop? What is happening?
Gloria's like, that looks infected.
It's not. That's just the way it is. Believe me, if it was infected, it would look a lot worse.
I would huddle with the other three. Like, he might be able to fix the tattoo, but Cress has returned to her original form, and she doesn't want anybody to know about it. So, but at the same time, would she rather be dead? Probably not. So, desperate times, desperate measures. What do we think? Anyone? Griffin?
I mean, thinking. We may have to chance it. I mean, if we're going to trust him, we're going to have to trust somebody at some point to get the tattoos repaired.
Yeah, I didn't even know we have to repair it. I mean, he was the one who told me. I really hope this would just kind of fix itself if we repair the caravan, but it's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
if
was
she
the
is
witchful thinking side of things.
if she is tied to the caravan will need to be fully repaired before we attempt to have the tattoos repaired. Yes.
But I think it is fully repaired. I mean, he's been working on it for a week. It looks really good. He was making a lot of happy exclamations, and he took a lot of food breaks. That's a good sign for a halfling. I don't know, I'm making this up.
Is there? I mean, what kind of magic? You said it was like a resurrection spell.
Yes.
Would that mean that we need to consult somebody with clerical magic? Somebody from a church?
No, the construction wizard foreman, he said when he asked his colleagues, it is not a clerical matter, it's an arcane matter. So, no, we need a transmutation arcanist. And, I mean, that's pretty much what he's been doing all week, and he seems to know a lot about it. And he knows what a soul anchor is. And he said that the tattoo needs to be fixed. And all that other stuff. So, I asked the wizard if his colleague would be able to help out, and he said no. He had the book knowledge, but he's not able to perform that magic. So, I mean, we can start traveling with this caravan we built, trying to find a educated transmutation wizard somewhere, but we might have to go as far as Waterdeep and talk with the Blackstaffs. Or we give it a shot.
I mean, so you're saying there's a possibility we might be able to find somebody here locally that can do this?
I don't think we can find somebody here locally who can do this. I mean, the wizard foreman knows of all the wizards that are here, or like the ones that are gilded. Obviously, there's some rogue people that are good at things, but how are we supposed to find them? Ask around, hey, do you know transmutation? Do you know transmutation? Hey, do you know very complicated transmutation?
Odd question here.
Black Iron Blades might know.
How good are you at making shit into other shit?
I've been talking to him a bit about over the last few days. He seems very knowledgeable. I mean, he knew all the answers and all the right steps, how to repair the caravan, what is needed to repair the connection, that the tattoo is broken in the first place. I never even said that to him, but he guessed it, that it shattered with the caravan. I think he's a good bet. We need to extend some trust to him too, just like we did to Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
He's been helping us a lot. He rebuilt the whole thing. I know I'm a little biased. You know, he reminds me of some of my grandchildren. But
Well, he's gone far to earning our trust so
yes.
far.
And we haven't even paid him anything.
Especially
He's
with
just done
helping
it.
to rebuild the caravan, so
Eh.
I'm inclined to trust him.
Poppy reminds me of that, like, master thief that, like, is about to get out. Just, like, one last job.
They keep pulling me back in.
This is it. This is my last job. I'm done after this.
I'm so tired.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Poppy.
One for the road.
One for roads. So he explained it to me is that there's a give and take. He talked about necromancy, you know, like all the healing things and turning things into other things. There's an exchange. I don't really think he's gonna, even if it's not going to work, he's probably not going to make it worse, just different. Does that make sense? It sounded better when he explained it. Yeah.
Do you show Cressida and her tattoos to Goose?
Yeah, that's the question. Guys, vote. Let's go. Let's get it over with. Yes or no? I vote yes.
I'd say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I vote yes.
Alejandro, what do you say?
I say that we can certainly try.
But I want to go over your head.
Well, I mean, we need to find a solution, so I say let's find one.
Great. So back to Goose. Let's grab that boy and bring him back into the back room.
You bring
We locked her.
You bring Goose into the back room. Goose, laying there is a blonde woman that is hard not to recognize. They've only been saying Cress so far, and it hasn't really clicked in until you finally actually saw her face. And as you're looking over the tattoos, and looking back at her and kind of confirming in your head, you think back to the exposé. The Hellbent Highborn. The exposé that got you into a lot of trouble, and that caused you to leave Baldur's Gate. And you recognize this as one of those patriarchs, one of those nobles of Baldur's Gate that was on your list. Cressida Van Aerodale.
Well,
And while
I made a whole cool
observing the tattoos and knowing in your research what you know now, a transmutation wizard will easily be able to weave this back together. You are not a transmutation wizard. You don't know reincarnate, and while you can create things with your bard skills, it doesn't compare. You know you won't be able to repair this, but you also understand that looking at the tattoo and looking at the connection, this probably wasn't created by a transmutation wizard in the first place. The likelihood is that this was created by some kind of infernal entity.
well,
and dropping that knowledge on you as the gang finally trusts you enough to bring you into the fold. That's where we're going to end session for tonight.
I have so many trust issues after this whole rose scorn thing.
I know everybody's getting eyeballed. Gloria, Goose.
Yeah, but I'm
no one's
over
under
it
the
now.
radar.
You need to eyeball for one session and then, you know.
For everybody tuning in at home, that's it for tonight. We'll be back next week with more mystery and shenanigans. Thanks to everybody who's watching. We love every single one of you. Hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And as always, power to the players.